Today on CTV News at 5, a major development put on pause. The region under pressure amid a water capacity crisis. The questions and concerns. Plus, Shoot for the Cure campaign. How the women's basketball team at Wilfrid Laurier is raising money for cancer research. And sustainable health trends for 2026. The habits you can adopt and keep up with this year. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. The region of Waterloo continues to grapple with the water capacity crisis. Now, a massive development in Kitchener has been put on hold as local developers look for answers. CTV's Jeff Pickle brings us more on this. And Jeff, this all comes down to water capacity.
Well, Leanne, essentially there is enough water to service the current population, but if the region continues to grow, it will soon outgrow the amount of available water in some communities. Now, local developers say they need to know if they can build in Waterloo Region. Late last year, the region announced the pumping station that serves Kitchener, Waterloo, parts of Cambridge, and the townships is very close to full capacity. And until a solution is found, they need to pause development approvals. This week, the city of Kitchener reviewed a massive 900-unit development on Cortlandt Avenue. They approved the project but used a holding provision for the time being.
It allowed the city to fulfill its obligations in terms of considering the planning applications that were before them and to do it in a timely manner, but to also put in a condition that doesn't allow the development to proceed until the outstanding water issues are dealt with the region.
Now, this water issue has really put the local housing development industry in a bind, and they say there could be real damage if the region doesn't come up with some answers soon. We'll have more on that side of the story tonight at 6. Leanne?
All right, Jeff, thanks for that. CTV's Jeff Pickle joining us live. Second-degree murder and attempted murder charges laid against a Cambridge man have been withdrawn. The charges relate to a double shooting on Lena Crescent in Cambridge in November 2024. One man died. The other was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Charles Barnes Fountain was arrested nearly a year later, but at a court appearance in December, the charges were withdrawn. The Crown telling court that after reviewing the evidence, there was no reasonable prospect of conviction and self-defense couldn't be disproven beyond a reasonable doubt. Barnes Fountain is subject to a 10-year peace bond that includes a number of people he can't contact or be around and a weapons prohibition. Ashley Bacon is back with our look at the weather forecast. Yes. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I mean, it was such a nice, warm start to the work week. How can anyone complain? I mean,
yeah, I know.
Above seasonal temperatures in January, I think, is a nice break. But
yes,
unfortunately, Anne, that's all about to change.
Yeah, you know, we got to enjoy it while it's here because, like you said, we don't get many breaks in January.
No.
It's kind of the dead of winter.
It is, yes.
So nice to have milder conditions to start the week.
Absolutely. And we've seen a little bit of rainfall. Let's take a look at our radar right now. You can see there's a band of precipitation we're tracking that's going to continue to go throughout the region over the next 24 hours or so. Now, as temperatures dip, that will likely switch from drizzle to flurries and snowy conditions by tomorrow. But overnight, we are going to see warmer conditions, and right now, still well above seasonal at 2 degrees. Winds from the south-southwest at 32 kilometers an hour. So a little bit windy out there, so it may feel a little bit colder than 2, but overall not too bad. Let's take a look at downtown Guelph tonight from City Hall. The arena is getting ready for skaters. Perfect night to go out for a skate. It'll be a nice weekend too coming up, but we've got to get there, and to do that, it's going to get cold.
All right. Well, I'm sure you're going to tell us when it's going to get cold.
You got it.
Coming up. And also, we're going to take a break. First, we'll tell you what you need to know. Another Battle of Ontario is taking place at the Odd on Saturday. The KW Titans taking on the Sudbury 5 on home court. Tip-off is 4 p.m. Tickets can be found online.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVKitchener.ca, your home for news.
A new study shows that thousands of restaurants in Canada have closed, with more to follow in 2026. The study out of Dalhousie University suggests more than 4,000 restaurants across Canada could go out of business this year, while 7,000 restaurants closed in 2025. It has businesses around Waterloo Region looking for ways to make sure they don't become another statistic.
Since we hit our January months, our hours get cut back. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 3 o'clock, and then Fridays and Saturdays we're open 7 to 7. We cut back on our staff, and we do skeleton staff in the wintertime.
At 6, CTV's Spencer Turcotte hears more about the ways local businesses are staying alive. And we hear from a hospitality and food instructor from the University of Guelph about why restaurants are vulnerable right now. For more than 18 years, U Sports women's basketball teams have been raising millions of dollars for cancer research through the Shoot for the Cure campaign. As CTV's Colton Weens tells us, this year hits close to home for the team at Wilfrid Laurier University.
Another Monday night practice for the Wilfrid Laurier University Golden Hawks women's basketball team, but this week it's more than just the game on their minds.
Saturday is Shoot for the Cure. We're all ready for Shoot for the Cure.
On Saturday, the Golden Hawks will host Windsor in their Shoot for the Cure game. 100% of ticket sales going to the annual U Sports campaign, raising money for cancer research.
I don't think there's anybody in Canada these days who isn't connected somehow to cancer and its debilitating effects.
Now each year the women's team chooses a type of cancer research to donate the funds to, choosing melanoma this year because of the personal impact it's had on a player on the team.
Second-year center Kira Aikman knows the cause all too well. Her father, David, diagnosed with melanoma 14 years ago.
Throughout the past 14 years, it's been medically advanced super beneficially. That's why I find donating to this cause is super important, because it will just get better from here.
I don't think there's anybody on her team who wouldn't run through a wall for Kira Aikman. She comes in every day, works her tail off, does everything that she can for everybody else. And it's just, to me, it's a testament of the strength of her family. She's an incredible human.
We all just agreed that we wanted to support Kira in this and her family, and I think it's important for us not only to support her, but her family as Golden Hawks and uplift them through this time and give back to the foundation that's given so much to them.
Aikman says donations have helped advance research over the years her father has had the disease, but she also advocates for everyone to learn more about it and themselves.
It's not just a sun exposure disease, it's a very genetic disease. It's been through generations of my family, so it's really important to know your family medical history and be aware of it, to be educated on it, and to always know if you're concerned about a spot on your body, to always get it checked out.
The Shoot for the Cure game is set for Saturday night at the Laurier Athletic Complex. Tip-off is at 6. Colton Weens, CTV News, Waterloo.
Okay, still ahead on CTV News at 5, a creative twist on a classic tradition. How a high school hockey game is showcasing school spirit and community support. We'll have the details coming up. Before you go to break, here's what you need to know. If you love Broadway, you can grab your loved ones and head to Kitchener's Center in the Square. They're hosting a sing-along night. It's taking place January 31st at 7 p.m. Stay with us. Not a bad start to the week, Ash, with mild temperatures. Yes. Cloudy skies still. We haven't seen a whole lot of sunshine in January, but
a little bit of
not
precipitation this afternoon as well, Leanne. Jen, one of our awesome digital team members here, was saying that there were some ice pellets when she stepped out on her lunch today, and we're in for some drizzle overnight, but conditions are going to continue to be nice for around another 12 to 24 hours, but then things start to take a little bit of a dive. Let's take a look outside. Perfect night to get out there and maybe enjoy a little skate. Dave Pettit, our cameraman, bringing us this shot from downtown Guelph City Hall this afternoon. Thank you for this wonderful shot, Dave. Oh, they look like they're having fun and not too cold. We're still seeing well above seasonal temperatures at this hour, and will continue to do so overnight into tomorrow. Let's take a look at our futurecast. This is the band of precipitation that's going to continue to bring a mixed bag of snow and rain, and that really just is because we're hanging out around that 0 mark throughout the next few hours. It's going to continue to taper into Wednesday morning and then into Wednesday afternoon. That's when temperatures start to decline. As it does so, those rain and drizzly marks will start to turn into more of a flurries, snowfall. We're not expecting lots of accumulation, but lots enough. Let's have a look at our temperatures across the country, starting on the west coast. 14 in Vancouver, 12 in Calgary, 2 in Regina. In Winnipeg, though, -10. On the east coast, -12 in St. John's. Halifax is sitting at 1 degree this hour. Montreal, 2. We're also sitting at 2 in Kitchener, Waterloo. -10 is an overnight low for this time of year, so feeling closer to -4 is still well above seasonal, even with that wind chill. I'll take it. Overnight, we're not expecting to dip too low. We're looking at 1 degree as an overnight low, 60% chance for drizzle. As temperatures continue to rise tomorrow, we might see some flurries. Around 2 centimeters could happen, but it will really depend on where you are, because if temperatures still sit around that 1 degree mark, we're not going to have more flurries, we'll have more rain, and that of course won't stick. Today, a high of 2 degrees, well above the normal of -3 for this time of year. Sun setting at 5:09 p.m. So we're getting a little bit more daylight every day. I will take it. Looking at our first at 5 forecast in Waterloo Region, -13 for your overnight low on Wednesday. That's where things are really going to make a change. You're going to want to bundle up. Ice conditions might start to deteriorate as those temperatures dip, because we're going to sit around that freezing mark throughout Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, flurries and a high of just -10. That -10 will also be your overnight low before Friday, snow returning and a high of -2. Those flurries looking to round out your weekend with a little bit of snow both on Saturday and Sunday.
It is a new year, and to start 2026, a lot of people want to focus on health and wellness trends, but today we are going to talk about sustainable health and wellness trends that you can take into the new year and carry on with you with naturopathic Dr. Joyce Johnson. Happy New Year. It's great to see you.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an exciting topic. I'm like super passionate about this. So yeah, I'm happy to be here talking about it.
Yeah, it's great. And I love talking about sustainable health trends, because we don't want it just to be January where we focus on health and wellness and then it all falls off. So these are kind of things we can take into the full year with us.
Absolutely. So one of the first trends, which I really like, is more climate conscious eating. So looking to eat more vegetables that are in season, so you're trying to decrease that length of time from farm to fork. People are doing a lot more urban farming. Maybe you're doing rooftop gardens, maybe you're doing community-based gardens, which is really great. Growing your own food. I think it's really good for your gut health, for your digestion, for your hormones, for all of the good things that make you a wonderful person and a healthy person, to be able to incorporate some of this food. So I think that's a really great wellness trend, trying to decrease some of those highly processed foods, the ultra processed foods. People are looking to maybe making a lot of their own recipes at home, like less of the boxed things.
Yeah,
that's
it's great
the trend
too,
I'm finding.
because in seasonal vegetables and fruits you can also find at the local farmers market too, so you can support local and also do something good for your gut health as well.
Absolutely, and farmers markets have really taken off. Like, I don't know if you're noticing that, but I have. Like, every weekend I'm like, oh, I really need to go to this one too. Have you seen this one pop up? So yeah, I think it's a really good trend, and I think seeing a younger generation also embracing this. Like, I have a daughter in university, and in university students are going to farmers markets. Yeah. This is incredible. I love this.
Yeah, it's great. Support local and support your own body and your health and wellness.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about sustainable supplements, and I see we have some herbs here as well.
Well, yeah, just, knowing where your supplements are coming from, knowing where your things are being grown, like growing your own herbs, for example. But trying to look for, maybe you're looking for an omega-3 supplement that comes from algae-based. So think about sustainability. Looking for products that are non-GMO, that have recyclable packaging, that the facility practices good management practices, right? So they're companies out there, good Canadian companies, that have a big focus on climate and making sure that what they're selling, what they're distributing, what they're providing to customers is all about sustainability.
Okay, interesting. One thing I noticed here is the tea, because one thing I've been trying to do this year is have a cup of tea every night before I go to bed, which I think is helpful with deep bloating and everything like that.
It is. And there's a lot of different types of teas that you can have. Obviously, you're having like maybe a chamomile or something like that. That's a really great calming tea. But this is all about hormone health. And hormone health has really gone mainstream. So people are not afraid to talk about menopause. They're not afraid to talk about andropause, which is like the male version of menopause, right? They're not afraid to be vocal about how their bodies are changing, or if you're undergoing like a lot of PMS symptoms. I know there's a lot of celebrities that have made endometriosis and a lot of different diseases or conditions that people didn't talk about before. So people are getting more on hormone health. There's a lot of great apps that can track your sleep, can track your cycles, to give us a little bit more information on what may be happening with your hormones in your body. And then these are just some really great foods that you think about, plant-based nuts and seeds and legumes that are really good at helping to support healthy hormone production in your body.
Great. Also, we can't forget working out keeps us sane, first of all, but also I feel like it helps with our sleep, it helps with our eating habits. It's really great to just move your body.
Yeah, it is. And I think the new trend that you're starting to see is more of a shift from solo self-care to more a social wellness. So people are more concerned about their communities, like they're giving back to the communities, they're getting involved in community fitness groups, maybe it's a community cooking class. They're embracing that community feel, engaging in more social activities, because it's helping to support the community as a whole and less about just supporting one person. And I think that's a really great trend. I think we have a lot to give each other. And I think getting onto that bandwagon where you can support each other is going to make for healthier communities.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's the main trend with all of our individual trends here is supporting yourself and supporting your community as we head into 2026.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Joyce, thank you so much for all the advice and for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Taking a break, tell you what you need to know. Test your knowledge at Kelsey's in Cambridge for trivia night tonight. It's free to play, but reservations are strongly suggested. The game will run from 7 until 9 o'clock.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
In tonight's Digital Dive, if you are still hanging on to your Christmas tree, you've got another chance to get rid of it. This is the last week to put them out for collection in the region of Waterloo. The region has shared rules for curbside collection. You can find those on our website by scanning the QR code or going to ctvnewskitchener.ca. And now the final 5 stories we're following. 3 people were taken to hospital after fire broke out at a Waterloo apartment building last night. Crews were called to Lincoln Road near Ellis Crescent North around 11:15 p.m. The building offers supportive housing for women, gender diverse people, and their families. The program is geared towards those struggling with homelessness. At least 8 people were displaced by the fire. 3 were treated at hospital for smoke inhalation. The damage has been pegged at $500,000. The cause is under investigation. McDonald's Canada has announced it is dropping the price of its McValue meals and freezing the price of a small coffee for at least a year. A McValue meal will now cost just $5, and the price of a small coffee will remain at $1. The promise comes as public perception around dining out has shifted in recent years, with more people than ever being cost conscious and willing to go wherever will provide them with the best value. Autism advocates are celebrating the release of the first ever Barbie on the Spectrum. The new doll is part of Mattel's Fashionistas collection, which includes dolls with a diverse range of skin tones, hair textures, body types, and health conditions, including type 1 diabetes, Down syndrome, and blindness. Among other things, the new Barbie doll has a gaze that shifts slightly to the side, and she wears pink noise-canceling headphones to reduce sensory overload. This Kitchener parking garage was in focus at the city's latest Heritage Committee meeting. The lot features a spiral ramp and is known to be a staple in the downtown core. Up for discussion, should the parking garage receive a heritage designation? One member argues it represents the concrete infrastructure of the 1960s.
Its past and its present significance is right in front of us. It's a beautiful piece of sculpture. It's a beautiful sort of form and function of that large spiral ramp that comes up on the outside of the building, and it's placed so prominently at the front of the building. It becomes its own symbol of the parking garage.
At 6, CTV's Karis Mapp will have more about the historic Kitchener Parkade. And finally for us, a high school hockey game in Kitchener is showcasing school spirit and community support, all with a creative twist on a classic tradition. When the Grand River Collegiate Institute Renegades scored their first goal against the Elmira Lancers at the Grand River Arena earlier this afternoon, the celebration went far beyond the scoreboard. It's part of the school's first ever hockey sock toss, inspired by the popular teddy bear toss. Students, staff, parents, and families filling the stands, tossing hundreds of pairs of socks onto the ice, all destined for Ray of Hope, supporting people experiencing homelessness in Waterloo Region.
Our teacher wanted to do something special for the homeless in the KW, and we know a lot of bigger hockey teams do the teddy bear toss, and we know the socks are in very high demand right now, so we wanted to do a little twist to it for our Grand Rivers. So we did the sock toss, and just to help support Ray of Hope and all the homeless people they donate the socks to.
I think this group of athletic leaders, they just have a really big heart, and I think that it's giving them those opportunities to really care for their community.
Approximately 1,200 pairs of socks were collected. Great initiative and effort by these high school students as well. All right, that is our time. We will be back at the top of the hour with your next local news. For now, we'll send it over to CTV National News. You can join us at 6. Have a great night. Take care.